Good day, everyone. Something truly bizarre is unfolding in the streets of Tehran today, and frankly, it is enough to make a seasoned journalist's head spin. Massive crowds are pouring into the thoroughfares, but these are not the anti-regime protesters we have grown accustomed to seeing. No, these are the regime's own die-hard supporters, the Basij, the loyalists, the old guard, and they are losing their collective minds. Why, you might ask? Because they are convinced the Islamic Republic has just signed its own death warrant by surrendering to the United States. They are calling for the supreme leader to break his month-long silence and finally address the nation. But as the hours tick by, the question remains, is anyone actually home at the top of the mountain? It has been over a month since the elections, yet the Iranian public still has not heard a single word from him. Today, we dive into why the regime has fallen into a full-on internal civil war. Now, quick favor, before we intergo this web of geopolitical betrayal, if you are finding this report valuable, please do well to hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell. It turns out over 92% of our regular viewers are not actually subscribed yet. And joining our community is the best way to stay ahead of this fast-moving global shift. It takes a second, it's free, it means the world to us. Now, back to the video. The catalyst for this absolute meltdown was a single statement that started it all. Yesterday, Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, released a message that sent shockwaves from Washington to Tokyo. He declared that in line with the ceasefire in Lebanon, the passage of all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is now completely open. This was a total shock, not just to the world, but to the Iranian government itself. We are now seeing parliament leaders and the IRGC commanders speaking out with visible fury. Some are calling for impeachment, some are calling for even much worse. The Islamic Republic is currently exhibiting a major internal fracture at the highest level in real time. While Araghchi and President Trump both claim the drought is open, IRGC-linked media is now openly questioning their own officials, warning of a mass confusion and demanding an explanation for the silence. At the same time, the IRGC's message via state TV makes one thing clear. As far as they are concerned, the passage is still controlled, restricted, and under exclusive oversight. This imposes a massive contradiction between the diplomatic narrative and the military reality on the ground. Iran effectively has multiple different power bases now. The United States is negotiating with the one they perceive as the strongest, but that does not discount the other fractions. Everyone is trying to ensure they come out at the top after this war, and they certainly do not want the other guy to get the political credit for ending the conflict. While the politicians turn on each other, the silence from the top is deafening. Iran's new supreme leader has not put out a single statement in audio or video form since the beginning of this war. We have not seen him. We have not heard his voice. He could be in coma. He could be dead. We simply have no idea about it. The regime has released a couple of text-based statements, but how do we know they are genuine? In the current climate, I am more likely to believe those statements are coming from a panicked media team rather than the leader himself. For the foreign minister, the situation was made indefinitely worse by the response from the US Central Command after Araghchi told the world the strait was open. CENTCOM issued its own statement. The US naval blockade continues. Iranian ports will not be used by any ships at all. To the average Iranian loyalist, this looks like a total surrender. Araghchi gave away their only leverage and nothing in return. Look at the economic impact of this confusion. Oil prices plunged below $90 for the first time in months after that statement. They were over $100 that morning and dropped as low as $83. That drop represents the evaporation of Iranian leverage. If they cannot threaten an energy crisis, they have no seat at the table. This is exactly why high-ranking officials like Mozani are fuming. He warned that Iran is losing the propaganda war because the National Security Council failed to take the initiative. Even the attempts at propaganda are failing. Iranian accounts recently claimed they had shot down a B-2 Spirit bomber, even circulating evidence of a bumper on a flatbed rock. The problem, a B-2 flies at 50,000 feet. If you shoot one down, it doesn't land intact for a parade. Perhaps the most serious part of this story involves the Speaker of the Parliament, Ghalibaf. Why he rails against the great Satan. An investigation by Iran Wire found that the man running his Twitter account, the one posing memes and addressing the American public, is actually Mesam. And where does he live? Glendale, California. It is the ultimate hypocrisy. The elite's children living in the West protecting a regime that brutalizes 92 million people while they enjoy the benefits of the very country they claim to hate. Dear viewers, this internal chaos is far from over, and the various fractions in Tehran fight for the remains of the regime. The world watches to see who, if anyone, is actually in charge. Thank you for watching. You've been watching the Global Observer. I'm Awesome Labdi, and I'll see you in another one.